Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to program and set up the UL board. This is the same board as found in the DM6, 7, 8, and the PM8. It is the standard board found in the UL frame that you would buy for a DM5 or DM4 or DMC, and should be the same board as in the PM UL frames also. A very similar board is also found in the PMR and in the SLG, only with a slight change being, I think, one firing mode, and that's about it. So to start, you want to take your marker. As you can see, I have the grips all the way on, so you want to take off the right side grip panels. This takes a 3/32 Allen wrench, the exact same size as the grip frame screw. Once you've removed all 3 screws, you can pull the panel away and you'll see the inside of the frame. Once you have opened the right side grip panel, this is what you'll see. This is the inside of your UL frame. Your battery right here with no harnesses or wires, which is really nice. Makes it really a lot more simple and you're not damaging wires. Anyways, right here, this is the dip switch box. This is how you will put your board into programming mode, and also how you turn on and off your anti-bolt stick. This is going to be hard to see, but as you can tell, there's 2 dip switches. The one on the left is number 1 and the one on the right is number 2. Number 1 is used for anti-bolt stick, up being anti-bolt stick is on and down being anti-bolt stick is off. And short explanation of what that does is when the anti-bolt stick is on, it adds a few milliseconds of dwell to your very first shot once your gun has been sitting for about 15 seconds without shooting. What this does is it eliminates first shot drop off, because it basically raises your velocity slightly for your very first shot. And for me, I usually just leave it on, and you pretty much don't even notice it, but it will help with first shot drop off problems if you're having any. So leaving one on is pretty much standard. Now number 2, that is your programming dip switch. When it is off, when it's down, that means you can use your gun and it's in usual mode. When you have pushed it upwards though, that means you can put your board into programming mode, and then you will have access to changing all your settings. So for now, what you want to do is slide up number 2, and then you can turn on your board, and it will go through a couple different lights and then come to a green light. Now I'm going to tell you what all of these settings are. And you can cycle through using the trigger. The trigger is how you set up all of these modes. Alright, now that you can see the light, I'm going to show you what all of the modes are and how you can set them. The green is trigger sensitivity. This is a setting from 1 to 20 on how sensitive your trigger is to each pull. What this will do is putting it up really high will completely eliminate bounce, but putting it up really high may eliminate the occasional shot too, because it won't register every single pull. So what you want to do is sort of set it at a point where you're not getting any bounce, but you're still maximizing your speed in semi. Mine's usually set around 5, maybe 5 to 10 somewhere, maybe around 7 or so. Moving on, red is dwell setting. On a matrix, usually 18, which is the stock setting, is pretty much what you want it at, but you can set this and optimize it the way you'd like. Blue is your speed cap on the board. This is the cap at which your board is set. This will govern in semi or any other mode. So if you have set this to 15 BPS, let's say, and you set it in semi, it'll cap at 15, and then you set it in ramping, it will still cap at 15. So this is also set from values to 1 to 20, but these values are not BPS. They each value stands for a different number. such as 10 stands for 15.4 BPS, which was the old PSP. 20 is a 30 BPS cap, and those are pretty much the ones I have memorized. Yellow is your firing mode. This is on the UL board and the DM6, 7, 8, probably PM8 too. There's only 3 settings here, and that would be Semi, PSP, and Millennium. So using those guns there's only 3, but I'm pretty sure on the PMR and possibly the SLG there's a 3rd setting, which is NXL Full Auto, but the DM6, 7, 8, and such guns, even the DM UL frames, don't have those. So that's all the settings. Very simple, only 4 different things. Very easy to cycle through. And now I'm going to show you how to set them. Let's go to yellow for now. Oops, I was already on it. This is firing mode. So what you want to do is you hold down the trigger, and then it will blink for for the setting value that you have at this point. For firing mode, there's 3 values. And number 1 is Semi, number 2 is PSP, and number 3 is Millennium. In this case, it only blinked once, so that means I was in Semi, and now it'll wait for you to register in new settings. So if I go 1, 2, now I'm in PSP mode. Just to show you again, you go back, hold down the trigger, and now it blinks twice to show you that you're in PSP mode. Now you can change it again, 3 times for Millennium mode. And now I'm in Millennium. It's the exact same thing for all of the settings. You hold down the trigger, it'll show you what you have. I'll show you what I have for trigger sensitivity. I only have it at 5 for now, so I'll leave it at 5. And there you go, it registers it. And you can move on. Now here's dwell. I'm not going to even show you this. Now this is the speed settings. I'll have this posted in the information, what the values mean. I assume I'm set at 20 right now, which is uncapped, so I usually have it, or it's actually a cap of 30, but it's the highest cap you can have, so that's what I have for Semi. But so there you go, I've set that at 20 again. It's the exact same thing. Hold it down and it shows you again. Now I'm going to set this at the old PSP, which is setting 10. Of course, this gun was set up for the old PSP settings and not the new ones. There is a 13 BPS setting, and I think it's value 4. But for now I'm just going to leave it at this one because I know what it is. So that's pretty much how you operate the board on a UL frame. Now, if you want to test out your settings, all you have to do is switch over to the other side, push down your number 2 dip switch, and it will put itself back into regular operation mode. You can turn off the eyes and test out what you've done. And that's Millennium capped at 15.4. Now once you've chosen your settings, all you have to do is turn off the board and put your grips back on. Thanks for watching, hope it helped. One more thing I forgot to mention is when you're in programming mode, you cannot turn off the board the same way as you usually do. So when you put up the dip switch, put this into program mode, as you can see, program mode like usual. Okay, when you're in this mode, you can't just hold the power button to turn it off. It won't turn it off, obviously. So as I showed you before, to turn off the board you have to actually flip the dip switch, and then it will go into regular mode, and then you can turn it off, and then turn it back on, and it will still be in the regular mode. So that's just a little piece of information in case you are trying to turn it off when you have the dip switch up. It won't work. You have to flip down the dip switch.